Hello, all you beautiful people out there. Welcome to another episode of Burgess&son podcast. I am Zay for Life, and this is Burgess, and we are father and son, like father and son. How you doing today, Mr. Burgess?
Excellent.
And you know why he's doing excellent? Because they say 2-0-0 Cause tonight we gonna party like it's 1999. We are going to party like it's 1999 because I know you feel like it's 1999 because it's the rematch of the NBA Finals. Okay, NBA Finals 1999 was the New York Knicks versus San Antonio Spurs, and we got that in a repeat of 2026. All right, last night, if you missed it, the San Antonio Spurs went into Oklahoma City to snatch Game 7s, take their hearts and soul out of that arena. It is a full circle moment. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Thunder, I thought they was going to win it, but we saw what happened in that game last night. So your Knicks versus the San Antonio Spurs in finals matchup, and I know I'm still kind of in disbelief that the New York Knicks are in the finals. I thought that was not going to be on my bingo card for a long time, but here we are. How do you feel about this NBA Finals matchup?
Oh, I mean, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, there's two very exciting things that could happen with this finals. Mm-hmm. So the first thing is the Knicks could win the championship and win their first championship since 1973. That's 53 years.
Damn.
The second thing that could happen is Victor Wembanyama in his third year in the league at 22 years old could win an NBA championship. Yeah. Surrounded by a young core of Stephon Curry, Stephon Castle, and Dylan Harper as a rookie. Mm-hmm. Like that would be unheard of that a team that young would immediately come into the league, beat the defending champions on their home floor in a Game 7, and then go on and win the NBA title. And they're a young core. They're a core of babies. All on
De'Aaron Fox is your seasoned vet, and he's still a young player.
All on their rookie contracts.
Yeah.
Like, that would be just out of this world, unheard of. So, I'm excited to see what happens. As a Knicks fan, I hope to God we win. Yeah. But if we don't win, this is like the only scenario where I'm not going to be mad that the opponent won.
Okay.
Like,
because both teams really have like interesting stories.
I mean, and then, we live in Austin. We're right down the road from San Antonio. This is, the Spurs country, so to speak. They play a couple of games here, every year. So, not that I'm a Spurs fan, but I'm surrounded by Spurs fandom, and I don't hate the Spurs. In fact, I really like the Spurs. This is a different Spurs team than it was in 1999. Mm-hmm. The whole dynamic of the team is different. You've got young, established, even though they're young, they are established stars, versus back in 1999, where except for Tim Duncan, who was a rookie at the time.
Oh, is he a rookie?
He was a rookie.
Wow. Okay.
They had David Robinson and a very established, veteran-hungry team. Mm-hmm. And now it's a young, established, hungry team that if they win this championship,
watch out.
Yeah, I mean, dynasty is not out the question.
Yeah.
But this feels different than 1999, and we know it's the same two franchises and all that stuff. And the Spurs are going to be favored just like they were the last time. Mm-hmm. However, the last time the Knicks were an 8 seed, they didn't have no business in them finals.
Who did y'all beat in the playoffs to get there?
We beat the Pacers.
Okay.
We beat Atlanta, and I think we beat the Miami Heat.
Okay.
So, we went on the road, basically. We were the 8 seed. We didn't have no home court nowhere. And, beat all of them teams. And then, we got to the finals and, reality hit. We didn't have Patrick Ewing. He was kind of at the end of his, prime. But we made that playoff run without our best player and won all them playoff series without him.
The whole time?
Yeah, he did not play in the playoffs that year.
Really?
He did not. We made the finals without him.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
And we got to the finals, and it was David Robinson and Tim Duncan together.
Yeah,
we couldn't deal, and they got us out of there in 5.
Yeah, they went crazy.
This time, I think it's a more even matchup. Mm-hmm. We're still going to be the underdog, but I don't think anybody's saying, "Oh, the Knicks have no chance." Mm-hmm. Back then, we didn't have a chance, and the fact that we won a game was kind of a victory. But this time, I mean, I think there's a solid consensus that we could win this series.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I think I'm more excited for actually you and Kira. Hey, shout out to Kira, shout out to Sarita and you. Y'all been Knicks fans forever, and I've been around y'all for a long time, and like. We all have been talking our fair share of smack talk to each other for a long time, but this is the one time I can say I'm hearing you, well, not really you, but really Kira and y'all. You talk your shit now, and I'm kind of like happy, smiling, like about time. Like I'm happy.
It is about time.
Like I'm happy for y'all, man. It
is about time because really, 1999 was the last time we were even real serious. Mm-hmm. Championship contender, and we really weren't then. We were the 8th seed. We weren't supposed to get there.
Yeah, it just happened. It's the way it fell.
Yeah, so this time, we blow through the East like it ain't nothing,
dude.
Just absolutely blasting teams on their home floor to get here. And
I'll say this too. For people saying, "Oh, well, they didn't really play nobody," y'all can shut the hell up with that, because even though the hardest competition, it would seem like the hardest competition was Atlanta, because Atlanta took y'all 6 games to beat Atlanta. Atlanta's a good young core, but you're talking about Cavs. Cavs is a great team. They beat Detroit in Detroit.
They did do that.
And then who'd y'all play before the Cavs?
Philly.
Philly beat Celtics in Boston. Like these are good teams that they beat and play, and not only beat. Philly and Cavs, who just beat great teams before them, they swept them with no hesitation.
And not only swept them, destroyed them.
Like, just blew them
Destroyed them. Just took, left no doubt who the best team was.
Exactly.
It wasn't flukish, none of that. We blew them the hell out.
Yeah.
We went to their stadiums and wiped them out in front of their own fans twice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can't help that Detroit choked at home.
Yeah.
We can't help that the Celtics choked at home. Mm-hmm. We just did what we were supposed to do.
Exactly.
And so hopefully we can continue that, against the Spurs. I think game 1 is going to be so key.
Yeah.
So key. We have to make a great showing in game 1.
And at least prove that you deserve to be there.
Well, I think we've already proved that we deserve to be there, but I think we gotta put some serious pressure on that young team.
Yeah.
They can't get comfortable, and neither can we, because we're playing. I think it's safe to say that Victor Wemby, I can't even say his damn name. Wemby is he's the NBA's best player.
Yeah. You think that kind of after this series that proves it? Like,
I don't see how you can dispel it.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you go against it?
Yeah.
What did you see that made him not the best player? I mean, he's the best defensive player. You can't argue that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's times when he absolutely put that team on his back and willed them to win. So, I mean, dude, he's...
And it's like, it's I said this before, but I'm just like, not trying to be disrespectful or like, trying to just overhype the thing, but I'm like, how when Wilt Chamberlain back in the day, we never seen somebody this big, fast, strong doing all this. Like now it's like he's kind of like that dude. Like you're 7'5", 7'4", 7'5", and you can shoot the ball, you can be in the paint, you're a great defensive player. You actually know how to use your height and you know how to play basketball. That is scary.
Let me remind y'all, he's 22 years old.
22 years old.
You're talking about a guy who's probably 6-7 years away from his physical prime. You're talking about a guy who hasn't got his proverbial man body yet. Yeah. Imagine what a strong Wemby does in the NBA.
And I think about how Giannis, when he first came to the league, he was skinny. Mm-hmm. And people were talking about, well, he can't really hang in there. Then after like 3 years in the league, he started maturing, and he's backing motherfuckers down, dunking on him. I'm like, yo, what happened? Like,
dude, your body naturally develops, between the ages of 20 and 30. Mm-hmm. That's what happens. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't even have to try. Like, your body is just going to physically develop, and you're going to gain muscle mass. That's what happens. Yeah. And you can't tell me after what you saw yesterday, the emotion that you saw when, the clock hit 0 and how he was talking in the press conference, that he's not going to be working on that in the offseason himself. Yeah. So imagine Wemby in the weight room putting reps in when he's naturally gonna gain muscle mass anyway.
Yeah, like it's gonna be scary. Like literally,
I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm afraid. It's scary now, but imagine a couple of years where he's like a man now, and he's like, damn, like we knew it was gonna happen, but Jesus.
Yeah, like when he gets a full beard and he got a couple of car seats in the back, baby seats in the back. In the back of his SUV, that's going to be a dangerous cat to have to do. He's dangerous now, but I mean, dude, you're talking about somebody who could become the GOAT.
Yeah, have a chance to, and you establish early. You already got the Rookie of the Year and started off your career, and then you build those first 2 years in the league. You didn't make the playoffs, but you made your impact known. That, like, I'm here, and then your third year in the league, your first time in the postseason, you're going straight to the finals. Dude, that is scary and that's unheard of, man. And like, shout out to one of my dudes. His name is Tay. He kind of actually talked about this about like a week ago or a couple of days ago. You're just like, yo, like we're not talking more about what the Spurs could be doing possibly. Like, look at Wemby in his third year and the way he's playing and willing his team together. Then you got a rookie Dylan Harper and
Castle.
Castle is still very young. Shaq Penny is still young. Devin Vassell. I think Devin Vassell is one of the most underrated players in the league.
They're all young. The only one that ain't is like Harrison Barnes.
And Harrison Barnes is your veteran on
like they're all young. They're all babies, dude. They're all babies in this league, and just they're storming their way into the finals. It's incredible to see.
You know what? Speaking of Devin Vassell, I find it funny. Because I was watching at the end of the game, what happened at the end of the game when he hit that last second dunk when he didn't need to, but nothing happened. Mm-hmm. What was you gonna do with that? Hey, what's the difference in who was it that did it? McDaniel's doing it, and it's a big difference right now from first round to the conference championship. But still, it's just the way that it happened. Super proud of those guys, man.
That was more celebratory, I believe, than anything else. I don't think that was done to, like disparage.
I would say it was a disrespectful of like, yo, we've been having y'all number all year, and this is the stamp of like we own y'all.
Yeah.
But I like it.
It was that. Yeah, I mean, of course, I ain't got no problem with it. And then interesting side piece. I'm not a gambler or nothing like that. But because he made that dunk at the end of that game, it hit the over. It hit the over. So if he doesn't do that, it stays at the under. So there's a group of people who are very pissed at him for making that dunk. Yeah. And then there's another group of people who are very, very happy that he made that dunk.
Oh, my God. I didn't even think about that. That is wild. That's nasty. So all in all, I know you're excited. You're ready to go. You're ready to see how it's going to do. What is your prediction right now for the NBA Finals?
I got two predictions. And, of course, one is with my heart, and the other one is with my head. Mm-hmm. With my heart says Knicks in 6.
Okay.
So what I'm hoping is we split the first two games in San Antonio, take care of business at home. Mm-hmm. We go back to San Antonio for Game 5, probably lose that one, and then close it out in the Garden in Game 6.
Okay.
That's my hope. That's my prayer. Okay. Please, Jesus. Please. My head says that the Spurs are going to win it in 6.
In 6?
Yes.
Okay.
The Spurs handle home court, steal one from us at the Garden. We got a team with some heart, with some dogs. We pull out Game 5, but we cannot hold them off in Game 6.
No, okay. That's a good take. Of course, and I've been saying this ever since really the Knicks got to the finals period. I've been telling everybody, I'm pulling for the Knicks. Only because my dog right here, I'm pulling for the Knicks. And so I'm looking at it kind of like I've been saying for the past, really, the time that they've been in the finals. Look at the way they got to the finals. They dominated. And so I think people are trying to overlook them and say, whoever comes out, OKC Thunder, Spurs, they're just going to win anyway. I don't think so. And I think the Knicks are going to put up a better fight. Now, I think it's going to go 7 games. And I think it's going to go the way that it's going to be 7 games. I think it's going to be every team wins at home except that game 7. That game 7 is going to determine. And I think Knicks can still win on the road, but it has to be game 7.
It better be game 7
because I think games 1 and 2, that crowd's gonna be amped up. They haven't been to the finals in a long time. They're gonna be amped up, and then once you switch that, last time the Knicks been, that crowd is going to be amped the fuck up. That city.
Do not fuck around and let the Knicks win the championship.
Oh my God.
New York City might just implode.
Burn
dude.
the fuck down.
It just might implode.
It's gonna burn it down.
Whatever happened the next day after that, forget anybody showing up to work.
Oh yeah.
The day they have that parade in the streets of Manhattan, forget anybody showing up to work that day. Mm-hmm. You could probably make a living. Yeah, you can probably make a living cleaning up all the confetti after the parade, or just cleaning up period after the Knicks. Especially don't let them clinch it in the Garden.
Oh God.
Oh
God.
Oh my God.
I can't even imagine.
I can't either. And I mean, we came so close. People talk about 1999, but the closest we actually came to a championship was 1994.
Okay. Oh, when they all played
when we played the Rockets, we were up 3-2. Game 6 in the Garden.
Oh.
We're down by 2. Last second play. They draw up a play to Starks for a 3 to win the game. He takes the shot. Hakeem Olajuwon blocked a 3-pointer.
What?
He came from the middle of the floor, ran all the way out, and blocked John Starks' 3-pointer to win the game.
You think that was going in too, don't you?
He swears it was. I mean, we'll never know because he blocked it. But that was the closest. And then, we went back to Houston for Game 7 and lost Game 7.
Damn, okay.
But, that was actually the closest. I don't think any Knicks fan had any real designs on believing we were going to win the championship in 1999. Mm-hmm. Every round was like a treat because, we shouldn't have been there.
Yeah,
we shouldn't have. We just shouldn't have been there. We barely made the playoffs, and then we were just kind of getting overlooked by teams and winning these series out of nowhere. So, but in 94 was our best chance since we actually won it in 73, mm-hmm. and this is clearly the best chance since then. Yeah. We can win this series. Yeah. It's going to be extremely difficult though.
Yeah.
But we can win this series. It's possible.
2 things I'm excited for. I'm excited for going to the finals. I'm excited to really see Wembanyama versus Cat. I think of course we know Cat got more of the muscle mass over Wemby, but I think Victor has more finesse, and height. Yeah, and so it's going to be interesting to watch that matchup, and I think people are going to underestimate that matchup, but I think Cat is going to actually have a good series.
I think it's the key. Because I think everywhere else, the matchups are about even.
Yeah.
Just about everywhere else. So, okay, Jalen Brunson is no defensive monster. No. We know that. And the Spurs have, Harper and Castle. But we have OG, Josh Hart. Mm-hmm. We have wing players, Mikal Bridges. We have wing players that can guard those guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, we ain't going to just stop them, but we can definitely make it difficult on them guys. Mm-hmm. And if their shots aren't falling, we can kind of keep them out of the lane. We don't have a supreme shot blocker back there, but, Cat's okay. He's okay.
Yeah.
And then,
OG, you better be in the treatment room right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got all this time to rest and get ready
right now.
So, Cat versus Wemby is probably going to be the key because we have to somehow keep Wemby from dominating. It's a tall order.
It's a hard
It's a
test.
tall order. But one of the things that we can do is make Wemby work on defense, which Cat can do because Cat can also pull Wemby away from the basket. And if Cat is out there on that 3-point line, you got to have somebody out there guarding him because you can't just let Cat shoot open threes and leave Wemby in the lane to block everything. Because you can't just leave Cat out there.
Yeah.
So if Cat ever gets going with the three, that's a serious problem for the Spurs because who else is in the middle is going to stop the rest of our team from getting in the lane?
Nobody. And you can't say, we can put in, because one time they did do a lineup where they had Luke Kennard and not Luke Kennard, Luke Kennett and Wemby in the same time. They're both centers. And I'm just like, yeah, but I don't think that.
I don't know that you can do that against the Knicks.
Yeah,
either.
You can't. And so like,
You're
even though Kennett made a great play in Game 7. I think that was the play.
Yeah, that's legendary.
Like if you don't block that, like that can turn around a lot.
Yeah.
So like I think he made the play in that series, but I don't think he can consistently do that. And like there's no knock on him. He's a good player, but it's just like you want him to do that all the time, and it's like no, he probably can't. But
I'm just saying, just like they say, styles make fights, so do matchups.
Yeah.
And really, these teams match up pretty evenly.
Very well.
If you think about it.
De'Aaron Fox for Jalen Brunson, those will go back and forth. Like you said, the bench play, the role players of Mikal Bridges, OG, and Josh Harden, those guys versus the Dylan Harpers and the Castles, Vassell's, Wemby, Cat. Coming off the bench, you're talking about y'all got Clarkson and Jose Alvarado, and then they got Keldon Johnson, 6th man of the year. This is cinema again. This is a movie. Like this is really a movie. And I'm happy that I'm here to watch this movie. Another thing I'm really excited. You know what? I'm excited for the next 4 to 5 years because I think the OKC Spurs, that is going to be a rivalry.
Yes.
That's going to be a national.
For years to come, yes, I agree.
That's going to be something we're going to be wanting to watch.
I agree. The Thunder aren't going away.
They're
people.
not.
They are not. That's also a really good young core. You know what? SGA,
and it adds motivation too.
Yeah, SGA is what, 26, 27, something like that. So, I mean, he's got plenty of years left. Jalen Williams, I know he didn't play in Game 7, but, I mean, he's young.
That's a what-if question. What if he played?
Chet Holmgren, oh, my God.
Where the fuck did he disappear to?
How in the world does a 7'2" man be the smallest player on the floor?
Dude.
How's that happen? Now, I had criticized him before this because I had seen where they were using Jalen Williams to guard Wemby in the post or guard Wemby, period, even, if he wasn't in the post, if he was on the wing or on the block. And it wasn't Chet. And, Chet was second in Defensive Player of the Year voting, so why are you not putting your best defensive player on Wemby? So, not only do you not get the great defense that you would expect from Chet, he scored 4 fucking points yesterday.
Was that it?
4.
Damn.
4. Where, like you said, where was he? Like I said, he shrunk down to be the smallest player on the court. They are locked into him.
Yeah, they are.
Long term, they just they signed him to a long extension last year. So he's not going anywhere. He needs to look within himself. I mean, I don't know if it was just Wemby took his heart. I don't understand what happened.
I think because a lot of people who do know, like they had their little rivalry back in the days for the U19 USA basketball
state
basketball.
USA versus France.
Yeah, and so Chet won that one. He was the MVP, and Wemby's looking like he's pissed off, and that's what we needed in the NBA too. Wemby is so competitive, and he takes shit serious.
Yep.
And so he took this series personal, and he was. Even when he dunked on Chet last night, I was like, "Oh yeah, he's mad. He's coming for blood at this point." And so, this is what the NBA needs. And I think for especially the next 2 to 3 years, we're looking at the Thunder and Spurs being Matter of fact, you might as well just pencil both of them. One of them two going to the finals. Like whoever else in the West, good luck.
Barring injuries.
Yeah, true that. But good luck. But it's gonna be those two, and we're gonna be watching for years to come. Like, when's the OKC and Spurs series? Let me know when that's happening.
I mean, because I'm more scared of the Spurs than I am OKC, only because they're so much younger.
Yeah.
I mean, Dylan Harper is a goddamn rookie. This is his first year in the league. You can argue he was the second best player in that series behind Wemby.
Yes.
And, Castle is Castle. Now, one thing they did that was kind of proven is that the Spurs need a point guard because it cannot be Stephon Castle.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's a turnover machine if he's got to have the ball full time.
And I'll say this. I was dogging Stephon Castle after those first two games. Like 20 turnovers in 2 games. That's insane. And then he kind of cleaned it up towards the end of the series. But it's like, well, you have to get the ball out of your hands, give it to De'Aaron Fox, or give it to Dylan Harper more. You can't take up the ball. Now, this is a good learning curve for you. You're still young, 23 years old. Go to next season or in the off season. Go work on your handle. There's plenty of coaches out here. There's plenty of people that can work on your handles. And you're still a raw talent, and you're still young.
But at least to me, he doesn't necessarily have to work on that because he's so skilled at what he does best.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it
would just add something
to
his game.
You always want to add, something else to your bag. But I'm just saying, again, what's he, 23?
Yeah.
If he's that old? Yeah, I don't even think he's that old. He might be like 21, 22 himself. So, the criticism was warranted only because 20 turnovers is like unheard of.
And 2 games is nasty.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely unheard of. But I mean, he's not a point guard. So I mean, it's the same thing. If you got somebody playing out of position and they make mistakes in that position, it's almost to be expected because you're not asking them to do what they do. You're asking them to do something they don't do. Mm-hmm. And I mean, a lot of us have failed if we're asked on the biggest stage to do something that we're just not capable of doing. Mm-hmm. So I don't even fault him for that. That was just I guess bad luck with Fox getting hurt, and who was the other guard that got hurt?
Dylan Harper.
It was Dylan Harper. Yeah,
he was off and on hurt too.
So I don't necessarily fault Castle for that. And as a wing player, he's supreme.
Yeah, he definitely has a lot in his bag and a lot that he can show for. And I think Stephon Castle is going to get better, and I think their whole team is going to get better, of course. But it's just like you said, it's just so surreal because they're so young. Like, you don't think of a young team like this, like just go up and they're in the promised land now. And so, I'm happy and I'm excited. I know you are happy and excited. You know what? I bet you right now, the Riverwalk is hurt right now.
I know it was last night.
Last night and tonight. They own 10 at the Riverwalk today. Any last words before this playoff series or this final series start off? Any last prayers you got for the Knicks?
Go New York, go New York, go. That's all I got to say.
Hopefully you praying for and seeing those orange and blue skies at the end of this series.
Yes.
All right. In favor of the NBA Finals starting, I did some for once. I got a new segment coming to you guys. It's going to be called Out of Order. Now, it's still a new project. You know how we see other podcasts and they got the blind rankings and the top 10, this and that. So it's going to be kind of like that, but it's a little spicy twist on it. Okay, Out of Order. What Out of Order is, it's going to be a top 10 list. I got 5, he got 5 of all NBA champions. Okay, you, sir, Mr. Keefe, are going to pick your top 5 champions from 1980 all the way up to 2005. Okay, and then I'm going to have from 2006 all the way to now, 2025, 26. We know the finals haven't started yet, but you know what I mean.
Okay.
And so what's going to happen is we got the top 10 list. We're going to actually pick a number, whichever number we're picking. Once we pick that number, we, from our list, decide which team goes in that slot. And by the end of it, we're going to read the list, and that's why, hence, out of order. This list might be all out of order because we might pick a team that should be number 1 or a team that should be number 1, so maybe number 5 somewhere.
Okay.
right? So we'll get into it, and then we'll have our times with it. But I'll pick first since I got it, and since I'm going first, I got number 6, and with number 6 out of my list, I'm actually going to pick the 2019 Raptors.
And your period is from when 2007 up to present.
Yes, 2006 up to present.
Okay.
But well, you go next. But 2019 Raptors, we're talking about with Kawhi Leonard,
right?
And all those boys. Looking at that championship run, oh man, like that was a literally. I think you said it one time on the pod. It was like a Kawhi or die, like literally coming in. From via trade, you didn't want to be in San Antonio no more. You go to Toronto, and even he really didn't want to go to Toronto either. But went to Toronto, did what you have to do, beat the 76ers in that crazy bounce game, beat the Bucks, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, beat the Magic, who were at the time the Magic. Can't remember that center name, but he was one of the top centers in the league, and they was out there smashing it. And then they won the title versus. At the time, that was the end of the supervillain Warriors with Kevin Durant on the team, and even though Kevin Durant got hurt, and Klay Thompson, but they still dethroned them boys. And so, number 6, I'm gonna put the 2019 Raptors. Now you pick.
All right, would you dropping this on me just now, dude? And I don't have a list prepared, so I'm going straight off top of the head here. Let's see the number. You get old, your fingers don't work right. Okay. Number 2.
Ooh, number 2.
Ooh. So from 2006 and before, I know who I got as number 1.
Okay.
My number 2, 1984 Boston Celtics.
84 Boston Celtics? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Who's on that team?
Larry Bird, of course, was I think that was maybe either the first or the second of his 3 consecutive MVPs. So then you were looking at Robert Parrish, McHale.
They dominated too.
Yeah, Ainge, DJ. Yeah, I mean the team was just loaded. Like the whole team was Hall of Famers, dude. But Larry Bird was the leader and best player and MVP that year.
Nice. All right. I got number 9. So number 9, Number 9, I'm going from my list. I'm going to pick the 2011 Mavericks. Okay. That's the year that Dirk won that title over the Miami Heat. Talk about the people he went through. Portland, a young Portland team with Marcus Aldridge, who at that time was at the top of his game, going against the Lakers, who just came off of back-to-back championships, swept them. I think they did.
No, they swept them.
And then going to a young Thunder core with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden. Gentlemen swept them, and then you go in playing the big 3 that just formed in LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh, and then Miami Heat we thought they was going to win 7-some NBA titles, and he went into Miami and took their hearts out at that series. So number 9 all time, I got the 2011 Mavs.
All right, I got the number 7.
Number 7.
So this is whoever I think is the 7th best championship team.
Or out of your top 5, which one would you? Which one
okay.
Your top 5?
So 7 out of 10 would really be like 3. So I would pick whoever I think is the 3rd best. And here I will go with the 1988 Los Angeles Lakers. So that was Magic at the top of his powers, at his very best. James Worthy at his very best. Kareem kind of on the downside, but still a factor. And they ended up beating the Detroit Pistons in 6 or 7 games. I want to say it was 7. 7. And Isaiah Thomas got hurt in game 6 and still put 40 something on him on like ankle that was the size of a softball.
Jesus.
But the Lakers ended up winning game 7. And like I said, Magic Johnson at his very best.
Well, you said it was who? That was against who? The Pistons, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Oh man, I was actually watching a documentary about when Isaiah rolled his ankle, and they showed how it looked after the game. I was like, "You played on that?"
Yep. Not only did he play, I think he scored like 25 points in a quarter in that game.
He was noticeably limping.
Yeah, limping up and down the court. Like, yeah, it was amazing.
Dude.
And let's also remember that man was 6'1", so I mean he's not shooting over anybody because he's got height advantage. Mm-hmm. His advantage,
he had to earn his buckets.
Yeah, his advantage was speed and quickness, and he didn't have that on that ankle, and still scored all them points.
Jesus, that was amazing. All right, I got number 4. Okay, and number 4, I'm just going to play it safe. Number 4, I'm going to go ahead and put the 2012 Miami Heat. 2012 Miami Heat, that was the year after they lost to the Mavericks. That year, they was on a mission. They was ready to go. And I want to say that was the same year, if I'm not mistaken, that they had to win versus Boston in 7.
Yes.
And we was up. Boston was up 3-2 in Game 6 in Boston, and I'm just like, we got to win this. And I'll never forget. This is where I had my slight hate for Mikal Peters after this game, because LeBron was toying with that man for Game 6 and 7, and I'm looking at this man like, can nobody stop? And like, you talk about a serious look on his face. He's like, I'm not losing, and he didn't lose.
No.
So, yeah, I got for number 4 spot, I'm putting the 2012 Miami Heat.
Okay.
Yeah, I still have nightmares about that series.
Ooh, I got number 1.
Oh, wow.
This is an easy one.
Okay.
1995 Chicago Bulls. That is the 72-10 team.
Okay.
That went to the finals. That was the second three-peat, the first of the second three-peat, where they played, I believe they played the Seattle Supersonics, and they beat them in 6 games. Michael Jordan didn't play especially well in that series. Or at the end of that series, he didn't play especially well in that series. But the Bulls still won. So that was the three-headed monster of Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman.
Okay.
In their first full year together. So this was the first year where Michael Jordan had come back. Mm-hmm. So when he came back originally, he came back kind of towards the end of the season. They went into the playoffs, lost to Orlando.
Okay.
The next season, on a mission. I said, 72-10. Blew through the playoffs. Got to the finals. Was up. I believe they were up 3-0, if not 3-1 on Seattle. Mm-hmm. And this was the Seattle had Gary Payton and Sean Kemp. You know, before Sean Kemp put on a fat suit. When he was just dunking all over the place on everybody. In fact, that Seattle team was loaded. Mm-hmm. You know, people like to say that, the Bulls didn't play anybody. Dude, that Sonics team was loaded.
Yeah.
So
that's why I always, even if it's Jordan or anybody else in the league, and they say, well, they really didn't play anybody, I hate that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, these are still professional players.
I mean, not only that, it's just that, you know, because it happened a long time ago, like, you know, of course, you know, people kind of dismiss, you know, and forget some of the names and things like that. Yeah. But, like, Gary Payton's an all-time great point guard. Mm-hmm. Sean Kemp was on a Hall of Fame arc at the time. Mm-hmm. They had, Detlef Schrempf. They had a bunch of really good players on that Seattle team. And
it's unfortunate he played Jordan.
They won 66. I mean, it's not like they were slouches. They won 66 games that year. So, I mean, they were clearly the best team in the West. They were the number 1 seed. Mm-hmm. They made it to the finals, and they just got beat by a better team. I mean, that's just what it was. So, hey, Bulls #1 during that time frame.
Hey, that's cool. That's awesome. All right. Moving on. It's my turn. Number 5. Okay, this is going to be critical. These are going to really be out of order. Number 5. Oof. Do I want to put them right here? I got 2 teams left, so I'm just going to go put them in number 5 right now. Number 5, and if I get 8 or 10, then I'm just going to have to take the L with that. Number 5, I'm going to put the 2016 Cavs. That's the team with LeBron and Kyrie when they came back against the Warriors from down 3-1. That is probably one of the best final series that I've watched as far as watching the team come back from 3-1 and the way they did it. Because let's not forget that Warriors team, who you just talked about, the Bulls, they beat their record of 72-10. They beat it about 73-9. 73-9 Warriors, just beating the absolute dog shit out of everybody in the first 2 rounds, and then they met the Thunder, which they was down 3-1, and they came back from being 3-1 against the Thunder to go to the finals, and then they going against the Cavs, who we thought was steak dinner, especially being down 3-1. I thought it was over, and we saw this Cavs team game by game come back. One game, Kyrie and LeBron had 41 apiece. The block, the shot, all in one game. That 2016 Cavs team is a top team, period. And I feel comfortable with them, number 5.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. I have number 8.
Okay.
All right, so you cut that in half. That puts it at number 4. Let's go back to the Lakers.
Okay.
I guess I have to pick one of the Shaq and Kobe teams that three-peated. Mm-hmm. I'll go with the first one. So I believe that was 2001.
Okay. Was it 2000 or 2001?
You know what? It doesn't even matter. I mean, put 2001 down there. Yeah. But that's Shaq, Kobe, Rick Fox, Derek Fisher, Mitch Richmond, wasn't he on one of them teams?
I think so, yeah.
Glenn Rice, maybe, was on one of them teams. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, loaded. Loaded. Robert Horry, you can't forget about him.
Big shot Rob.
So, I'm thinking the year that they beat the Sixers in the finals. I'm not sure that was the first year. I'm thinking that might have been the second year, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it was basically the same team. And they just mowed through the Western Conference playoffs. I think they went through the Western Conference playoffs and only lost 1 game.
Damn.
And then they got to the finals and they lost that first game to the 76ers where AI, dropped 48 on them and did the step over on Ty Lue. And then, the Lakers back in swept them. and those 4 games were not close. So you're talking about prime Shaq, a young coming into his own Kobe, and then the rest of those, just ancillary but outstanding players that just dominated the league during that time. So, yeah, the early 2000s Lakers.
Awesome. Yeah, that was a team that I love to watch. And actually, my first jersey was a purple number 8 Kobe jersey.
All right.
Ooh, I escaped that one. I got number 3. Okay. And it's my only team left, which is now number 1 team on my list. 2017 Warriors.
That's fair.
And that is the team with...
That's fair. That's Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant's first year with the Warriors. Yeah. They came and they did what they were supposed to do. Yeah. They dominated that series. Dominated the whole playoffs. Nobody came close within a game at all throughout the whole playoffs in the Western Conference. And then going to the finals, I want to say... I know they swept the Cavs in one of those series, but I want to say this was the first time they gentlemen swept them 4-1.
Yeah, the second time the 2008 team swept them. Yeah.
And so, that 2017, that was the real villain Warriors right there. They was on a mission, and it was At that point, it was unfair because you're talking about Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala still on that team. If I'm not mistaken, was Barbosa still on that team?
I don't remember.
I don't remember that far, but
they were loaded though.
But yeah, the five or six players I just named, like like you could easily just play them the whole game and they just go dominate. And I know during the year before the Warriors had a winning streak of like 20-something games, but I want to say that first year with Kevin Durant, they had like a 20-game win streak too, or like 18-game win streak at one point. They just could not lose. 2K, I was living in 2K when they had that team together. I was winning whatever game I was playing. So that's number 3. I got the 2017 Golden State Warriors. And last but not least, number 10 for you,
which is going to be my number 5.
And that's crazy. You picked 1 and 10. That's crazy.
I actually have 2 teams in mind.
Okay.
I have the 99 Spurs with Tim Duncan and David Robinson. And then I have the Houston Rockets, the 95 Houston Rockets, which I guess I would have to change that Bulls team to the 96 Bulls.
Oh, 96 Bulls?
Yeah. But I'm going to go with that second Houston Rockets team only because the Spurs is kind of the enemy at this point.
95 Rockets?
1995 Houston Rockets. So this is going to be, they won 2 in a row. This is going to be their second one. Okay. So they had won the championship the year before against the Knicks. Mm-hmm. And they were kind of stagnant the next season. You know, they were kind of mediocre. Mm-hmm. So mid-season, they shook up the team. They traded away Otis Thorpe, who was their power forward. Like back then, if you had a really good center, a great center, which they did, in Hakeem Olajuwon, you almost always had to have like a big, bruising, enforcer type power forward playing alongside him.
Okay.
They had one. His name was Otis Thorpe. And so this is a big 6'10", big muscle bound, like, you know, wasn't a very skilled guy, almost kind of like a Charles Oakley, like just a tough guy. Like you're not messing with Olajuwon or anybody on that team and not seeing him.
Yeah.
So, big rebounding defensive guy, not necessarily, you know, any type of a scorer or anything like that. They traded him to the Portland Trail Blazers along with, I think, some other players and, you know, maybe a couple picks or something for Clyde Drexler.
Oh, so that's how you got to Houston.
That's how Clyde Drexler ended up in Houston. And then after they made that trade, they took off. I think they only went into the playoffs as a 6 seed, but they mowed their way through the Western Conference playoffs, and then they got to the finals. And who would they meet in the finals except for Shaquille O'Neal and the Orlando Magic? Shaquille O'Neal in his 3rd year.
That's kind of ironic.
Shaq, Penny, D. Scott, Nick Anderson, loaded Orlando Magic team.
Was Horace Grant on that team too? Was Horace Grant on that team?
Yes.
Okay.
Loaded Orlando Magic team. They swept them.
Swept them, bro.
They swept them. And it was another situation where, like, the Orlando Magic had game 1. It was wrapped up. So I'm thinking they were up 4 with or up 5 or 6 with like 30 seconds left. And so that's at the point where you got to foul and hope they miss free throws. So they fouled Nick Anderson, who was the starting shooting guard, who was actually a very good free throw shooter. He missed 2 free throws. The Houston came back down, hit a 3. They fouled Nick Anderson again. He missed 2 more free throws. He makes 1 free throw. Orlando wins this game.
So you miss.
They come back down and then they hit, you know, the game winner.
Damn.
And Orlando never recovered from that loss.
Wow.
And
just got swept.
Houston, just swept them the rest of the one. It was no doubt the rest of the games. I think one of the games was close, but like the Magic's heart was took. And you know they were a very young team. Like I said, Shaq was in his 3rd year. Penny was in his 2nd. D. Scott was a young player. Nick Anderson was young. Like, they had a very young core, and you always thought that they would overcome that and be back, but they never did. And Shaq ended up leaving, and Penny ended up getting injured, and the rest is kind of history with the Magic. But
damn, that's crazy.
That was Hakeem Olajuwon at the top of his powers.
Wow, and then people forget, man. Clyde was a bucket.
Clyde was a bucket, and like he was kind of sort of at the end of his prime, but like he was still the man.
Yeah.
You know. So I think in Portland's eyes, they were kind of turning the page. Like they had their little run where they made the finals a couple of times. And, a lot of their team was old. And, Clyde was really the only player of value that they could use to rebuild. So that's what they decided to do. Mm-hmm. But, Clyde still has something left. Yeah. And, he proved it because he played extremely well in Houston and played very well in those finals, too.
Hell yeah. All right. So completed our list. Let's read the list back. This is where it's going to get out of order. Was this list out of order? Number one. Start with number one. We got the 96 Bulls. Number one. Number two, 84 Celtics. Number three, 2017 Warriors. Number four, 2012 Miami Heat. Number five, 2016 Cavs. Number six, 2019 Raptors. Number seven, the 88 Lakers. Number eight, the 2000 and 2001 Lakers. Number nine, 2011 Mavs. And number 10 is the 1995 Rockets. Say it's out of order, or do you say?
I think it's a little out of order, but I mean, generally, nice I think list. We got it right. Definitely number one is right.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any question about that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That was a cool one. Like that one?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Add that on to the ones, and we'll have some more in the future for that one.
Yeah.
But all right, y'all already know what time it is. Time for the best segment in the world, soon to be known as the best segment in the world, is Way Back Wonders. All right, if you're new here, Way Back Wonders, where the OG tells the young buck stories about past athletes that maybe I was just too young to understand, or I just didn't know about. But now that I'm getting older and older, I fully understand now. So who is our Way Back Wonder for today?
All right. We have mentioned him multiple times already.
We have. Yeah.
Multiple times.
That's why I kind of been laughing.
And I actually struggled whether I should make him or another player. I'll mention the player, David Robinson, the Way Back Wonder.
Oh, okay.
But since the Spurs are right now the enemy, I cannot pay any homage to a San Antonio Spur until after this series is over. So David Robinson will get his turn as the Way Back Wonder. But today's Way Back Wonder is Hakeem Olajuwon.
All righty.
Now, Hakeem Olajuwon is clearly Hall of Fame, clearly one of the best centers ever to play, but he rarely, very, very rarely gets mentioned as like a top 10 all-time NBA player.
I wonder why.
And I'm here to dispel that reference, because I think he absolutely is.
Yeah.
So let's start with his origin. So Hakeem Olajuwon grew up in Nigeria, in Lagos, Nigeria. His first sport was soccer.
That's a big motherfucker playing soccer.
And he played goalkeeper, which is almost perfect for somebody so super tall.
Exactly.
But at some point, I believe it's when he was maybe 15 or 16 years old, somebody introduced him to basketball in Nigeria. And he took to it like a fish out of water. Now, having played soccer his whole life, one of the things that Olajuwon is famous for is his footwork. He's very well known for his offensive footwork. And I believe that him playing soccer as a youth contributed, heavily to.
Yeah, now that you say he plays soccer, that's exactly what.
Yeah. So he ended up being scouted, and this was in 1980, maybe two. I'm thinking it's definitely the early 80s. So this is, of course, way predates the internet and all that kind of stuff. Where now, if there's a great basketball player under a rock in Mongolia somewhere, we all know. Mm-hmm. But back then, we didn't know that. But he was recruited by somebody at Houston, at the University of Houston, and brought into the University of Houston to play basketball. Nobody had ever heard of him. So he moves to the United States and enrolls at Houston on scholarship to play basketball. He doesn't play a whole lot as a freshman, but while he was there, he actually was taken under the wing of Moses Malone, who was a Hall of Fame center playing for the Houston Rockets at that time. And in the offseason played pickup basketball with Moses Malone and other NBA stars. You know how NBA people, do their little pickup game circuit, after the season or whatever. And he attributes a lot of his growth as a basketball player to Moses Malone.
Wow. And Moses Malone is
an all-time great center. And so he played for the University of Houston Cougars, who made the Final Four 3 years, I believe, in a row. Even though they did not win the championship, they made it to the final game twice. He was teammates there with Clyde Drexler, who we also previously mentioned. They lost one championship to the Georgetown Hoyas with Patrick Ewing. And they lost the other one to NC State Wolfpack, who is a large underdog and won on a last-second kind of miracle.
Is that the one where they talk about
Jim Valvano?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly the one. So they won. They actually had the championship won and lost on that miraculous last play.
Wow. Okay. That's crazy.
So he became the number 1 overall pick and was drafted. A lot of people don't remember this. He was drafted in the same NBA draft as Michael Jordan.
Oh, really?
He was the number 1 overall pick. Jordan was 3rd.
I would say Jordan was. I thought he was like 5th or something. He's 3rd.
Jordan was the 3rd overall pick. Now, nobody ever talks about it because nobody ever views Hakeem Olajuwon as a bust.
Yeah.
So everybody says, hey, Houston was justified in taking him at that pick because it's Hakeem Olajuwon. He's a great player. Now, he didn't turn out to be as transformative as Jordan, but nobody faults Houston for making that pick.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad pick.
No.
He gave you what you really wanted: a superstar in the center, a superstar in the player, period, and then the championship, 2 championships.
In fact, I read of a scenario where the Houston Rockets were actually going to be able to draft Hakeem Olajuwon and Michael Jordan.
If that would have happened, oh my God.
They're actually trying to concoct a trade where at the time they had Ralph Sampson. So when he came into the league with the Houston Rockets, he was playing alongside Ralph Sampson, who was a 7'4". I mean, not necessarily Wemby, but Wemby before Wemby.
Okay.
And, just a freaking monolith of a player, like just a once in a lifetime, like super tall, super skilled.
Yeah.
He never really kind of lived up to his potential, but that's a different story for a different time. So they were the Twin Towers of Houston. And they were actually trying to concoct a trade where they would send Ralph Sampson to Portland in exchange for Clyde Drexler and some picks at one time. So, and if I remember, it was somehow that that Clyde Drexler and Michael Jordan would have been teammates. I can't remember the exact thing. I think I may have it twisted up. They may not have been teammates in Houston. They would have been teammates in Portland. But in any case, there was that potential. It never happened though.
Damn.
So Olajuwon, from the instant he got into the NBA, he didn't win Rookie of the Year because
if you don't mind me asking, who was number 2?
Sam Bowie. Now that's the pick that everybody makes fun of. He was also a center. He came out of Kentucky, and his NBA career never took off. But his problem, he was almost like Greg Oden.
Oh.
Like just injuries. Like he could never ever get on the court. He was talented and everything, but
couldn't get on the court.
He never could really show it.
And I defend Greg Oden. People call him a bust. I said he is technically a bust, but like he couldn't help the way he got injured as many times as he did. So.
And Sambo is kind of similar type.
Okay,
thing.
That makes sense though. Okay.
So anyway, so he gets into the NBA, and he's like an immediate all-star. He starts making all-star team after all-star team. The Houston Rockets, after floundering for a little while, you don't get the number one pick because you're great.
Yeah.
So they start to become very good, and they eventually trade away Ralph Sampson, and they start assembling a really good team. So they had Otis Thorpe, who I talked about. They had Kenny Smith. Kenny the Jet Smith was actually a very good NBA player at one time, and he was one of the keys to them winning the championship that year. That man hit some very key three-pointers and jumpers to help them win. In the finals against us and in the playoffs when they beat the Magic, when they ended up sweeping the Magic. So they kind of quietly put a really good team around them. And even though they never got to the finals while Jordan was playing, that would have been, kind of the ideal matchup. And even Michael Jordan himself admits that he believes that had they played in the finals against Olajuwon, that would have been problems. Because they didn't have anybody to deal with Olajuwon.
And I hate that didn't happen because
I hate it too.
It's hard to like kind of explain it. Like we don't know.
Yeah, we'll never know.
And people be like, "Oh no, I know what would it like." No, you don't. Like we don't know what would have happened.
People say that Olajuwon won those 2 rings because Jordan wasn't in the league, and true enough, Jordan wasn't in the league for the first one, but he actually was in the second one.
Yeah,
he just didn't make it.
Yeah,
but Olajuwon is supremely gifted offensive player and one of the greatest defensive players ever. Yeah. In fact, people don't know this, and they credit this to Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan never did this. Hakeem Olajuwon is the only player to have won an MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP all in the same season.
Wow.
Okay. Michael Jordan has done all 3 of those things, but not in the same year.
Same season. Wow, I never knew that. That's crazy.
So he did do that. And no one else has had. I think Wemby, before it's all said and done, is going to have something to say about that.
Yeah, I think Wemby's going to do that.
But another conversation again for another day.
Yeah.
So Hakeem Olajuwon is 6'10". So he is not your typical 7 foot plus center. Mm-hmm. He is not. However, he is the NBA's all-time leader in block shots.
That's crazy, dude.
And that is a testament to how skilled a player he is. Mm-hmm. Because, 6'10", of course, that's exceedingly tall. And you would expect somebody 6'10" to, block some shots. But when you consider players like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and other players like that have played, and people who are known for defense like Mutombo, like Ewing, that he's got more blocks than all of them. And it's not that he played so much longer than them, because he didn't. Mm-mm. He was just more efficient at it. He was just better at it.
A great defensive-minded player.
And, of course, he's got, a couple of signature moves. Of course, his nickname was The Dream. Hakeem the Dream.
Hakeem the Dream.
And his signature move was called the Dream Shake, which is kind of almost like a juke move down low that you would think people would know is coming, and they just still couldn't stop it.
That's sometimes those are the most scary ones. The one that what's about to happen and you still can't stop it. It's
so demoralizing too, because again, it's coming and you cannot do anything about it.
Wow.
So he played at a time where a lot of times people try to discredit Bill Russell or Will Chamberlain, saying they played against plumbers and mailmen and yada yada yada. Okay. During Olajuwon's prime, he played against David Robinson. Mm-hmm. That's an all-time great center.
Yes.
Patrick Ewing. That's an all-time great center.
Yes.
Shaquille O'Neal, that's an all-time great center. Alonzo Mourning, that's an all-time great center. Mm-hmm. He played against all these guys and dominated them. Yeah. So in the general public's opinion, Shaquille O'Neal is a better all-time center than Olajuwon. And I would say the head-to-head matchups would disagree with that.
Yeah.
He dominated O'Neal when they played.
Yeah. And you can make excuses. Oh, when O'Neal was young and this and that.
He dominated him. Yeah. He dominated Ewing.
Yeah.
I mean, they played a 7-game series in the NBA Finals, and they won. The Houston Rockets beat my Knicks because of Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem Olajuwon absolutely, positively outplayed Patrick Ewing.
Damn.
And that's why they won.
Yeah. Looking at both of those years where he played the Magic and the Knicks, you're talking about two great all-time centers in Shaq and Ewing, and you saying like he made them look like they were just little boys out there.
He made Shaq look ridiculous.
That's nasty, man.
I'm just saying.
And Shaq is a great
And I mean, Shaq was like 3-4 inches taller than him and probably 40 to 50 pounds heavier than him even then. And that was it.
What's up, bro? Yeah. Hey, interrupted by XJ. But yeah, that's amazing. That's crazy. Looking at some of these stats, 2-time NBA champion. We already knew that. Finally.
Yeah, run down those accomplishments, dude. It's gonna take a minute, so I'm gonna sip on it while he run that.
We're looking at two-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP, most valuable player of the whole league in '94. 12-time All-Star, 6-time First-Team All-NBA, 3-time Second Team, 3-time Third Team, a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time All-Defense First Team, 4-time All-Defense Second Team, All-Rookie First Team, NBA Leader in rebounding for 2 times, 3-time NBA Block Leader, and he's a member of both the 50th and 75th anniversary teams. And he was the NCAA Final Four most outstanding player in '83.
That was the year they lost.
That's crazy. And you're still the MVP.
Dude, it's crazy. So, I mean,
and both of his numbers in both Houston, the college, and Rockets are both retired.
Oh, well, I mean, that goes without saying. You better not let nobody wear 34 ever again.
So he really 34 should be just retired in Houston altogether.
In any sport.
For the Texans, for the
Astros,
the Comics.
Well, the Comets ain't no more, but yeah, that whole team is retired. Oh, for real?
Yeah, they just revamped their team and be back in 2027. I'm excited for that. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, that's a good one. Like you said, a lot of people don't really talk about Hakeem Olajuwon as being a top player, period, but a top center. Like we named the Kareems and we named the Shaqs and we named the.
Dude, generally speaking, there's at least 4 or 5 guys getting named before he does.
Yeah, but if you was to truly pick, like, where do you solely think his place is as top center of all time?
I will say this: he's the most skilled offensive center that's ever played the game.
Even more than Kareem?
Yes, Kareem was great, but he had the sky hook, and a lot of his defensive prowess was from him being aggressive and being 7'2" with long arms.
Okay.
Once again, this man was 6'10". He's 6'10". I mean, like, he's just not the size. Every night when he lined up in the NBA, he actually lined up against somebody typically who was bigger than him.
And he outplayed him.
Repeatedly. And I mean, he was just so skilled offensively and defensively both. I think he's the most skilled center that's ever played. Is he the most accomplished? No, he's not. And I think because you have some more accomplished guys that you probably put those ahead of him.
Like your Shaqs and all those guys.
I don't know that Shaq is necessarily more accomplished. I'm talking Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, Kareem. Okay. I think after that, you got to start talking Olajuwon.
Yeah. Shaq got 4 rings, right?
Shaq has 4 rings.
4 rings, and I don't know. I think he had more MVPs too, right?
I think they each have 1.
Okay. Yeah, but you're right about that. He needs to start being mentioning that.
I'm just saying, head to head. I watched the games.
You was there.
I watched the games. So head to head, I saw what Olajuwon did to Shaq.
Yeah. It was nasty. What was also nasty was I keep forgetting unless I see a picture of it, was him in the Raptors jersey. Olajuwon.
Blasphemy.
I was like, ew. It just looks like it. That looks like that was AI. That was a good one. I like that one. Yeah, man. Olajuwon, I do hate that a lot of people don't put Hakeem Olajuwon as a top guy or a top center. But I do understand the arguments for that. But I also just be like, you know what I'm saying? Just know your history. And it's kind of getting a little bit sad now because now the generation is getting younger and younger and younger. There's going to be a point to where people are going to ask, like, who was Shaq? And you're going to be like, excuse me? What did you just say to me?
Well, I mean, I think because of his celebrity off the court, I don't think anybody's going to be asking that question. But I think people are going to forget, generally, the last thing that you see is the first thing you remember.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think, Shaq can step into that own a really TV personality. And it's kind of like Shannon Sharp. Really with me with Shannon Sharp. Yes, I knew he played football, but I didn't know he was that good of a tight end until later on in life. I was a kid thinking like, oh, this dude is funny on TV when he used to do the CBS network stuff. And then as I got older, I'm like, oh, no, he was the top tight end in the league. Like, put some respect on it. That's why looking at when Olivia gets to that age and you like, and then the other kids by 2060, that's what they're gonna be like. Oh, Shaq played football. He was a good basketball player. Like, excuse me, what did you just say to me? But that was a good one. I like that one. I actually like the out of order one, and I can't wait to see this NBA final start. Game 1 is on Wednesday. All right, I'm praying that this series at least goes 6 or 7 games. I hope it's not like, oh, Knicks are obviously got more advanced or more experience and they kill the Spurs, and I hope it is not like the Spurs are just outplaying the Knicks. I hope it's actually a hard fall series. Game 1 is going to be in San Antonio, right? Okay, so we're going to see how they're going to play out. This place is going to be nuts here in Texas, only an hour away from the Riverwalk. I'm not going to touch the Riverwalk for at least the next 2 weeks, so because it's going to be nasty down there. All right, thank you guys for joining us on another episode of Burgess&son Podcast. A special edition for the NBA Finals starting on Wednesday. This was all basketball talk. Until next time, we will see y'all on the next episode. Again, happy Father's Day, just in case we don't see y'all. But until the next time, I'm Zay for Life, and this is Burgess, and we are out.
Go Knicks!
Go Knicks, go!